I've recently discovered that I've become a hermit. Hello, it's been a while since I've talked on this channel. It's been a long while since I've talked on this channel because banding has been cancelled, which when you run a brass band blog and you freelance as a brass band writer has been very, very difficult. But I'm back and I thought I'd just have a chat, really. I've just filmed a video for the bandsman, so if you watch that video at some point in the next week or so, or maybe it was last week, depends when I put this video on YouTube. Life is very busy at the moment. I am in the same clothes, so I do apologise, I filmed this all in one go. But I just thought I'd come and have a chat because it's been a while since I've chatted. A lot seems to happen when I take a hiatus from making videos. It just happens to be that a global pandemic occurred during the gap between the last video and this one. I thought I'd just come on and have an honest chat really, because I think the way I'm currently feeling is the same as a lot of you guys and a lot of people in the banding community and a lot of people all over the world really. You know, we spent so long in isolation and away from each other, and as a bander I'm so used to being around people all the time. I am a little bit of a social butterfly. I enjoy going out with my non-bandy friends. I had a very active social life before the lockdown, and then that just all kind of was taken away and I got used to the new normal. And if you're like me and you don't like change, you know, getting used to things like not being able to go out and see friends, not being able to see your other half for 11 weeks, though I think he was grateful for the peace and quiet. Not even being able to go and see like my grandparents or go and have a drink at the pub, something, you know, these things that we've taken for granted. And like band rehearsals, I've moaned about them, you know, sometimes you're coming from work and you just can't be bothered. You just want to sit down with a cup of tea and a book, or sit down and watch Netflix for a couple of hours because you're tired, but you're having to come in from work, throw some food down your neck and go back out to band again. And so that kind of all stopping, it's just left me in a bit of a quandary, I'll be honest with you. And it's only kind of now when we've been allowed to do a few more social activities, not necessarily banding because we're not allowed to do that at the moment, but sort of being invited to do things again and going and see people. And as much as when I get there I love it and I've missed these people with all my heart when I've not been able to see them, it does fill me with anxiety because it's kind of, we've got used to a new normal and now we're getting used to another new normal, and it's just a lot of change. And I've had the same conversation with quite a few people now where we've got used to being antisocial. So when we've got invitations to be social, we don't want to do it. The thought of it is terrifying, the thought of choosing an outfit and speaking to people again. I remember the first sort of meetings I had with people when the lockdown was beginning to be eased, and I felt so weird. I felt like I was being weird because I've been unsocialised for God knows how many weeks, and it was hard to get back into the swing of things again. My band was one of the bands that started doing socially distanced rehearsals of, you know, 6 people. And sort of getting back into that again, like I felt nervous playing around, you know, the same people that I was playing in front of, you know, in March, and didn't really care. Not that I didn't really care, but you know, I was surrounded by, you know, 5 other people that I was playing in the same band room week in, week out for months before the lockdown without actually thinking about it. But then when put in a group with them again and playing, I felt really, really nervous. I felt like I was on stage, which I never feel like that in the rehearsal room. And that was a bit disconcerting because I've not been used to it. I've been, you know, practicing on my own. So practicing with other people was just very odd. I don't know, there's a lot of change going on and it's all very frightening. And do you feel the same way? I wrote a blog not that long ago, which I will put a link in the description box, which is kind of pinpointing that COVID-19, although it has been incredibly detrimental to our movement and our community, what it's done to us as a community potentially is worse in terms of it's kind of turned us on each other a little bit. You know, there's been so much good stuff that has come out of this lockdown in terms of the lockdown videos that I've watched have been nothing short of amazing. Some of the stuff we've achieved, some of these videos, I don't know why it's taken a global pandemic for us to discover that we can do it, but my God, they're good. People creating their own blogs. I'm not alone anymore in the blogging community. It's great. You know, brass band blogging is beginning to take off. I've seen quite a few now and it's fab. People are creating, you know, their own websites and social media pages to show off their playing. People are posting, you know, them playing pieces, whereas before not a lot of people posted themselves playing. You know, you got top players obviously posting themselves playing because they're good, because, you know, they're top players. But, you know, people that are in sort of the same section as me and, you know, are not, you know, sitting on the front row of Black Dyke, you know, they're sitting on the front row of a first or second section band, having the confidence to play, and it just made me more confident, and that has been fab. But then on the dark side of it, there's been so much fighting and bullying and having a go at each other. You know, some people think we should force the government's hand to let them go back to playing again. Some people think that that's a bit silly because a lot of our community is at risk, and I'd rather us all be able to go back than some of us go back. I've been having this argument with so many people recently that just because you're low risk does not mean there's no risk. But the coronavirus doesn't just swim up to you and kind of like sniff around and go, you don't have diabetes, you're not over 50, I'll go away now. You're just as at risk as everybody else. Even if you're healthy, I'm presuming I'm healthy. I don't actually know what underlying health condition I may or may not have. The hospital, the doctors, not really places I enjoy going. The pub, yes, don't enjoy it as much at the moment as I used to, with the coronavirus floating around threatening your pint. It's like the only thing I was ever scared of in a pub beer garden was wasps. And now I am terrified of people coughing near my beer. But I could be a carrier. Although the coronavirus might not affect me and put me in hospital, I might be a carrier, and I might pass it on to one of the members of my band who are of a certain age or have an underlying health condition or whatever risk factor they fall under, and I could accidentally kill them with it. Now that for me is like almost like manslaughter. You know that there's a risk, but you insist on going and playing even though you know that you could potentially accidentally kill someone. I don't understand the rush, I really don't. I own the brass band blog. I do freelance work for a brass band magazine. I eat, sleep, live and poop brass banding, and I'm not ready to go back yet because of the risk. Not necessarily to me, because at the moment I'm apparently low risk, but there are members of my band that I do care about who could fall seriously ill with the disease if I accidentally, unknowingly pass it on to them. When I did post that article, I was thinking, some people are gonna, be sharpening their pitchforks when they read this. So it was very nice to see that I don't think I got any negative comments on that, and there was a lot of you that commented and liked and shared the blog post and did agree with me. There's some lovely things about it, which I do appreciate. It's always a bit nerve-wracking when you put an article out there and when you categorically know not everybody's going to agree with you. So everybody that did take the time to actually read the article and then comment or share it, like thank you. But yeah, there's a lot of anxiety around something that I absolutely adore, and that makes me sad. It does make me sad, and I do miss it, but I would miss my bandmates more if I accidentally killed them. But I think it's created a lot of tension in the banding world. It's created a lot of tension in the world in general, but I think in our little community, it's created so much tension. I think a lot of things have been said that people don't mean. The main thing we have to look out for now, or what we have to save each other from and save our community from, is hatefulness and nastiness and bullying. So like I say, I think a lot of people are feeling the same way I am. So if somebody does make a comment on a post that you've put in the Board Bandsman or any other Facebook group, be kind. As long as they've been respectful towards you, be respectful back. Understand that there is a lot of anxiety and there is a lot of stress involved in this situation. So let me know your thoughts. I'd love to know how you're feeling about this whole situation at the moment, because it's all just a bit weird, isn't it? And I'd like to know that it's not just me who's feeling anxious and worried about going back to normal. Is that weird? So anyway, I will leave you with that. So again, that post that I've written about COVID-19 affecting the community and sort of how our community needs to do a little bit more to make sure that we preserve our relationships within the banding world and that kind of thing, I will leave a link to that below. And if you've not already subscribed to the British Bandsman or seen my article in the latest issue of the British Bandsman, I will also leave a link to that below. But for now, thank you for watching.